Eid Mubarak, my friends. Okay. Whew, I woke up with the worst skin that I've ever had in my entire life. I don't know what I did to it, but it's burnt, completely burnt. It feels like steel wool. It's like so rough. It's red. It's burnt. I have like breakouts here. I swear I'm growing mushrooms on my chin. Like, it's just so gross. I don't know what happened, but filming with the door open just in case my cat wants to come in. She's sleeping right now. She's sleeping in the shape of a cashew. Oh, so cute. But anyways, for today's video, I wanted to talk about rich people. I hate rich people. I've always hated them. I will forever and always hate them. I will never, ever cry for a rich person. It doesn't matter what kind of problems they're having. I will never feel bad for a rich person. Because let me tell you something. You might have daddy issues, but you could always book a flight and go to an island and sulk there all by yourself. The rest of us have daddy issues and still have to go to work and get harassed by 30-year-old men. There's something about watching them have their life in shambles that brings me some sort of comfort. But I have to say, the worst kind of rich people are the people... I'm just paranoid. I never film with the door open. I'm so paranoid. But anyways, are the type of people who pretend to relate to us, right? They act like they know, like they're poor, like they don't have money. Like, I remember this so clearly, but remember when Nicki Minaj and who was it, Jimmy Fallon? One of the Jimmys went to Red Lobster and Nicki was like, no one has money for that. You do. You do. That was ridiculous. That pissed me off. I love Nicki. I love her so much. I'm a barb, but these rich people don't pretend to be like us. They know they're rich. They're filthy rich. And they act like it. And I guess good for them or whatever. But anyways, Bling Empire, is that what it's called, or is it Empire Bling? Bling Empire, I think, is a Netflix original show, documentary, reality show, that's the word I'm looking for, about real life crazy rich Asians. Because after that movie blew up, and I love that movie. I really do. I love it with my whole heart. I guess people were fascinated with the lives of actual rich Asians. And they created the show, and I watched it twice. And I want to talk about it today. I know that by watching it twice, I'm putting money in these people's pockets. I'm very much aware of that. So the way I organize this video is that I'm going to go... I basically just organize it person by person, from least relevant to the story, not like in general, because that's a very mean thing to say, but least relevant to the story to most relevant to the story. Like, basically the person I want to see more of. I keep referring to them as characters because it's hard for me to because this is a show, I keep forgetting that these are real people. But the first person I want to talk about is Guy Tang. Does anyone remember when Guy Tang was everything on YouTube? He was doing everyone's hair. I remember there's once upon a time he was getting hella views. He was coloring YouTubers' hair in all different types of colors. I remember he did that Graveyard Girl bunny or something. He did the Raging Racist hair. He did a lot of people. I remember that so vividly. But the reason why I want to talk about him today, he didn't impact the story much, except for being extremely disrespectful to Anna, but he apologized right away. Kim didn't. He apologized right away, and they made amends and whatever. But the reason why I want to talk about him, did y'all see his house? Is that what YouTube money does? Did we see how wonderful his house is? Oh my goodness. Look at this house. Oh my goodness. I can't tell if this is YouTube money or hairstyling money, but damn. That house was beautiful. He's a crazy rich Asian, and I want to know more. I know it sounds a little rude to ask, at least in my culture, it sounds a little rude to ask people, where they get their money. I am just curious, how did he get all of this money? Is it YouTube? Is it hairstyle? I'm just really curious. I'm really curious. Because all of them are rich by descent, except for maybe Kelly, who is an entrepreneur or whatever. But all of them are rich because their parents are rich. But why? What did Guy Tang do? Answer my questions, Netflix. Thank you. Okay. Next person, Jamie. We know very little about her, but every time she's on screen, her outfits kill. She's giving us look after look after look after look. She looks incredible all the time. She's 21 years old, maybe 22, I don't know. She's around my age. Which pisses me off because some of us are 21 and it already in hella debt. Thank you, Canadian government. But she's 21 and her biggest fear is her dad cutting her off and making her work. Imagine being in your 20s and having to work to make money to survive. Can you imagine such a life? Because I could never. I don't live in a reality where I can only exist, I can only survive if I work for money. I can't believe what she has to go through. I can't believe it. I am so scared for her that her dad might cut her off and make her work, make her earn her money. Oh, I pray for you every night, Jamie. That's all we know about her. Like, she plays no role in the show. Do I want to know more? But like, I like that she doesn't pretend to be a relatable 20-year-old. I like that she doesn't pretend. She knows she's rich. All she does is shop all day. I guess I respect that. I'm just bitter. I'm pissed, to be frank. It's just really insulting to hear these rich people talk about how scared they are that their daddy might cut them off. Yeah. God. I want to punch these people in the face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I do. Can't believe I talked all this time with a concealer mustache. Okay, next person I'm going to talk about is Anna. I'm sorry, but she never does anything wrong to anyone. She's consistently always just minding her own business, and everyone just wants to ruin her fun all the time. It's just the pattern. She would be doing nothing, being kind to people. And I know I'm lending a compliment to a rich person, okay? But she would be just doing nothing to nobody, bothering no one, and someone is yapping about her, embarrassing her, invading her personal space. She does nothing to no one. I can tell that Christine is threatened by her. Oh, she is so threatened. Their petty drama is so freaking just annoying. There are people dying. I'll get to Christine, though, and her problems. I'll get to her. But as for Anna, like, she invited people to her house to give them a face massage. Rich people are so strange. They're so strange. She's just rubbing the inside. Nope. Strange. And I bet she was getting paid like $200 for it. Good on the massager lady, the masseuse. Good on you. Make your bank. As for rich people, so strange. A part of me wants to move to LA and create the dumbest thing ever. Hair follicle massage, and I'll stand there and massage each strand, and I'll charge like $20 per strand. A part of me wants to do that and see where that will get me. Because rich people will do anything to look pretty, including just look like this. Has no one noticed how they all have the same face? Like, everyone in LA, all the rich people, they all have the same face because they all have the same surgeon. Anyway, what was I saying about Anna? Oh yeah, she was just minding her own business. Invited her friend over to her house. And Kim goes up to the bathroom and throws a pee-pee pump out the window like the disrespectful fool that she is, and doesn't even apologize for it. She throws Guy under the bus, even though we saw on camera that he told her, hey, maybe we shouldn't go up there, that's rude. She was like, no, it'll be fine. We're gonna cleanse her house, and doesn't even bother to apologize. It's so unbelievably rude. Anna's constantly minding her own business. That's why Kevin was like such a ride or die for her. She's just there bothering nobody, doing nothing to no one, and everyone's just, ugh. I don't know if they're threatened, or maybe she did something in the past that we didn't see on camera, but everyone is just so, no one wants to leave her alone. Well, Kane and Kevin are good friends. They're good people. And as for Christine, Anna was just standing there at the party, at the, what, leather and Botox party. Oh, rich people are the worst. It's so strange, their obsession with Botox. So strange. Some of us use drugstore skincare and look incredible by the time we're 60. But y'all are just pumping your skin with everything under the sun and still manage to... Anyways, I'm sorry. I find joy. I get joy out of insulting rich people. I really do. I would be lying if I said I didn't. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Anna was just standing there minding her own business. And Christine had to call her out like that? I know there aren't some anally enthusiast people at this party. Anna, why did you have to call her out in front of everyone? What the... It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to call someone out like that in front of everyone. And I know that's what Christine wanted. She wanted to embarrass her. She did nothing to no one, as far as I know. Is that all I wanted to say? And the necklace thing was so unbelievably childish. Christine, why is she so threatened? Why is she so threatened and so bothered by Anna's existence? It's actually quite sad. But again, I'll get to her. Everyone will get a turn to get roasted. Okay, now let's talk about Andrew. Oh, what a piece of work he is. So, like, a part of me feels a little bad for him. A little bad for him. Because it's not his fault. He has, like, what, mommy and daddy issues, abandonment issues. It's really not his fault. And I feel for him. I really do. However, that is not a reason. That it's not okay for him to project his issues on Kelly. It's not fair on Kelly. And it's not helping him heal. It's not. They need to separate, and he needs to work on himself. He really does. It is not okay for him to be projecting his issues onto Kelly. I said this on TikTok, and this was like the first time someone had like misunderstood me and like twisted my words. But I was basically talking about Klaus and Caroline, and I said that Caroline doesn't have to deal with Klaus's issues because Klaus comes with thousands of years of baggage. And I feel for him, right? Because his dad tried to kill him. I feel for him. It's horrible. But Caroline doesn't have to deal with that. She doesn't have to deal with his mommy issues or daddy issues or whatever. Especially if he's gonna project onto her or make her life worse. And someone in the comment section was like, I have all of those issues, so I guess I don't deserve love. No. That is not what I meant. That is so not what I meant. In fact, y'all deserve more love than anyone else. What I'm saying is, it is not fair to project your issues onto your partner. Your partner should not be your therapist. Your partner should not be, they should be there for you, of course, when you need them. But they're not your therapist. They're also not your punching bag. You know what I mean? And that's what Andrew did to Kelly. For me having like skin issues, my skin looks incredible right now. Look at the dewiness and the shine. Ooh. Okay, now let's talk about his hypocrisy. Ooh. Oh, no. First, let's talk about Paris. Embarrassing. If I was Kelly, ooh. First of all, yelling at someone like that, my parents don't yell at me like that. That is so disrespectful. The last time anyone yelled at me like that would be maybe my teacher in like 7th grade. And I was hurt, and I've never liked that woman since. Oh, that's quite a story, but I guess I can tell it another day. She basically accused me of plagiarism in front of the entire class when I didn't even plagiarize. And I was so mortified that she just kept on accusing me that I couldn't even stand up for myself. Like, I just froze. I hated that woman. She was just like yelling at me about plagiarizing a presentation that I worked so hard on. She just couldn't believe that I could write a presentation that good. Imagine how offensive that I was hurt. I was so hurt. But anyways, I've moved on. It's been years. It's been almost 10 years. I've completely, totally moved on. It still doesn't bother me to this day. But anyway, yelling at someone like that, especially your partner, because they didn't want to wake you up when you were jet lagged? What the hell is wrong with you? I know that because of his abandonment issues, when he woke up and Kelly wasn't there and she left without telling him, it must have triggered something in him. I know, I understand. It's just not fair to yell at Kelly when all she was trying to do is go shopping without waking him up because he was so tired from the trip. It's not fair to embarrass her like that and to ruin her birthday. It's really, really not fair. And he insulted her character while he was yelling at her, which is my biggest pet peeve. Like he was just insulting her, calling her disrespectful, when all she did was just not want to wake him up when he was sleeping. It's just not okay. And he embarrassed her in front of Anna. It's not okay. It really isn't. And he needs to work on these issues. And once he's ready, he can get back into the relationship, or he can date someone else. And maybe if they break it up for good, I'll get to that. If they break it up for good, his next relationship will be much healthier because he'll be in the right headspace for it. But right now, he's not in the right headspace for it. Okay, now let's talk about his hypocrisy. So, Kelly was at a party. All these rich people do is party. She was at they were celebrating Singaporean New Year's or something like that, or Chinese New Year's the Singaporean way, something like that. It was beautiful. I have to say, the culture representation in the show, absolutely beautiful. I still hate rich people, despite the race. I still hate them. But the Chinese culture, Singaporean culture, Buddhism, it was all so beautifully represented in the show. Well, or just represented. I can't say if it was beautiful or not because I'm not part of those cultures, but I have to say they looked aesthetically pleasing. But anyways, when they were at this Singaporean party and Kelly was telling her girlfriends about what happened between them in Paris, I have to say, men have to start accepting that if anything happens between us, my best friend, my sister, my girlfriends already know about it. I know men don't really have, and I do feel bad for them, they don't really have that, like, support system, so they don't really, like, gossip or go to their friends to complain, but we do. We have that support system, right? So you have to accept that when something happens between us, I'm going to my girlfriends right away. You just have to accept it. But the hypocrisy for me is that he was yelling at Kelly for not keeping their relationship private while he was looking at a camera, telling all of their tea and all of their issues to a camera that broadcasted their issues to a Netflix TV show for millions of people to watch. It's the hypocrisy, sir. Like, what do you mean you're gonna yell at Kelly in the middle of what? A recording studio and tell her, this relationship is between us. Why do your friends have to know about everything while you're fighting on camera? I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. Kelly must have been really, really in love because she is better than me. She really is. If somebody did that to me, ooh, I'm North African, you know. I'm Moroccan, if you haven't understood from my little shrine over there. We have a little bit of what you might call, what might you call it? A temper. We have a little bit of a temper, okay? Try that on me. Yell at me and tell me I should keep my relationship private when you're yelling at me on camera for millions of people to watch. Try that shit with me, please. I beg you. Oh my God. Kelly must have been really in love to deal with that crap. And she went to therapy. She was like, my relationship is toxic. Clearly. I like that they went to couples therapy. I have nothing against couples therapy. I think it's healthy to, you know, see someone, seek help if you need it. I would just walk out. It's not worth it. It really isn't. No man, no matter how incredible he is, no man is worth a headache. Okay, I'm done with him. Now let's talk about Christine. Nope, Kane. I put Andrew above Kane? Oh, it's because I don't want to see him in season 2. That's why I put him above Kane. Like, he's like, not that he's irrelevant to the story, he very much not. He kept me very entertained. I just don't want him in season 2. He was pissing me off. And that's not even my relationship. He was pissing me off. Alright, let's talk about Kane. Kane is a good friend. He's very sweet. He's always there for his friends. He's very respectful. He's very calm. I really liked it when he was there for, what was her name? Do I not have their names here? Oh my goodness, I forgot about that couple with the children are Javon and Jermaine. Jermaine? Oh my goodness, what was their name? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go look it up. Hannah, you disappointment. And Jesse. is Cheery and Jessie. Wow. Okay, I forgot to put him in my list. Let's talk about Kane. I liked it when he was there for Cheery when her mother passed away. I liked how respectful he was and how calm he was all the time. I really, really liked him as a person. And if he wasn't such if he wasn't a rich person, I would love him as a friend. He's such a good person. I think he's a good person. I think he's kind. Here's the thing. We know absolutely nothing about him. We know he's kind to people. He is a Buddhist, right? I hope that's the correct terminology. His dad gives him a monthly allowance. Good listener. Speaks Mandarin. He's from Singapore. That's about it. We know nothing about him. This season, he had nothing that was about him. He was just there for his friends. And I want to know more. They hinted at the end of the last episode that he might be wanting to pursue a relationship, maybe with that French guy. I have no idea. But maybe we could see him put himself out there and date. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Give him a trope, something. We know nothing about him. Now let's talk about Christine. I can't decide whether or not I like her or hate her. One, she's annoying as all hell, especially when it comes to Anna. She's so obviously threatened by Anna. I believe it was episode 2. They were sitting together and they were talking about like expensive things, Cartier or some crap, and it just gave me Kim Kardashian and Jaclyn Hill vibes. Christine being the Jaclyn Hill, she was just trying to show off and name as many name brands as possible and show to Anna, who's like generational wealth, how much she knows, and it was just so uncomfortable to watch. She's so obviously threatened by Anna. It's so like, why? Just be secure with what you're freaking wealthy, rich. Your husband could be Chinese dynasty or some crap. Like, but I have to say, she has extremely abusive in-laws, and she went through too much. Again, she must have been hella in love with her husband to deal with what she had to deal with, because I couldn't. I really couldn't. They made her sit at the children's table because she couldn't get pregnant. I really, really, really couldn't deal with what she had to go through. That's just another level of abuse that I'm just not. Again, y'all must be better than me. I relate to their culture a lot because it's quite similar to Arab culture, I find. I relate to her because I have a member in my family who couldn't have children. And she took the fall for her husband, even though it was actually the husband who couldn't have kids. But because women are like burdened with the responsibility of procreating, is that the word? When the husband can't do it, they just take the fall. And the women get insulted, the women get shunned, the women get abused by their in-laws. And the men don't suffer at all. And at first, I thought her husband, I have no idea what his name is. Was it Gabe? Something like that. At first, I thought he was very insensitive. She clearly is traumatized by his own parents. That's why she doesn't want to have a second kid. She doesn't want to go through what she experienced the first time. Being shunned. Them having to create a baby in a lab. Like, she clearly doesn't want to go through that again. And I found that her husband pushing and pushing and pushing for a second baby, I thought was very insensitive. But then they sat down and they had that conversation in that beautiful house that they were trying to buy. And he understood, and he was understanding. I thought that was cute. And for a second there, I was actually starting to like Christine. Starting to feel bad for her, for what she went through. And then she had to ruin it all. When she threw a party for baby G, his birthday party, first birthday party, that was ridiculous. He won't even remember. Just light a candle, eat the cake, take a few pictures, and call it a day. That party was way too extravagant. What pissed me off is when she made a donation and she spent that party talking about how much that donation cost her, and then admitted to the camera that the only reason she made this donation is so baby G could get into a good preschool. Now listen, at least she made the donation, right? At least someone got that money or whatever. But if you're going to sit there and complain about how much this donation cost you, Oh, poor rich people. Helping the poor. If you're gonna stand there and complain about how much it costs you and then admit that the only reason you're helping people out when you could, like, save the Gulf of Mexico is because it's to get something out of it, you're a freaking monster and I hate you. I hate rich people. I really do. I really do. I could never be friends with rich people. I really couldn't. Because I would curse them out. I'll be the worst friend in the entire world. Now let's talk about Kelly. The entire time I was screaming at my TV, just saying, get the hell out of that relationship. Like, what the hell are you waiting for? It is not healthy. And she finally did it. And I say, yip, yip, hooray! I was finally excited. She finally got out of that relationship that was just pissing me off. Then Kevin was pursuing her, and I thought that was a bad idea. I don't see them and Kevin together. I really don't. Them? I meant her. I don't see her and Kevin together. I don't, but she put herself out there. She gave it a shot. The entire time when she was meeting up with him so he can see the dog, I was like, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. They're gonna get back together. They're gonna get back together. I saw it coming. And then the final scene of the final episode, she was like, after I saw Cheery and Jesse get engaged, it just reminded me that I need to be with my loved ones. So she walked into his door. Why do people not learn from history? I'd like to understand. Because I'm the type of person to hold a grudge. I will never forget. I'm trying to be a more forgiving person. I feel like that's the Muslim thing to do, but I would be lying to everyone if I said that I'm a forgiving person, because I'm not. As soon as you do one thing to me, I will remember it till the day that I die. And I do have the ability to forgive some people, especially if they've shown me that, you know, they've changed and they're actually sorry for what they did. I have the ability to forgive, but I won't forget. And I'll put it at the back of my mind, like, you were capable of this once, you'll be capable of it again. But with Andrew and Kelly, they break up, they get back together. I can understand getting back together the first time. Then you break up again and you get back together. Then you break up again and you get back together. At this point, he must be a disease or something. Do you not learn from history? Why put yourself through that over and over and over again? And then Kelly did something that happens all the time in reality shows, and I've never understood it, where they pretend like they're not on camera and like their friends are not gonna watch what happens, like, literally in a few months. So Kelly just decides to lie to everyone about seeing Andrew. And I'm like, they're gonna watch this soon. Why are you lying like you're not on camera? Like you're not being caught in 4K. Literally caught in 4K. She just kept lying, no, I'm not seeing Andrew. And she got so defensive right away, which is like, if they get defensive, they're lying. Girl, just tell them the truth. Just tell them this isn't your relationship. Mind your own business. I'm going to see him all I want. And I'm going to be stuck in this relationship cycle, in this circle of toxicity for as long as I want. Mind your own business. I would have a lot more respect for someone who does that, who just lives in their delusion proudly, than someone who's just lying. I know I'm delusional. I know that. And I accept myself exactly as I am. And I'm gonna live peacefully in my delusional state until the day that I die. So Dylan O'Brien, hit my line. Thank you. If Dylan O'Brien doesn't notice me, then Bang Chan from Stray Kids. That's my king. Yep. Okay, now let's talk about I guess my favorite part of the show. I was so invested in their relationship. So invested. And that is Cheery and Jesse. Woo! I always get mascara right every single time. I was so invested. I needed to know more and more and more and more. So basically, to give you some context, Cheery and Jesse have babies out of wedlock. Which, this is the part where I related a lot to, I guess, their Chinese culture. Because in my Arab Muslim household, having babies out of wedlock, count your days. They have two beautiful little babies together. and then not married. Which, whoo, I don't, by the way, judge people. Just in case you think I'm judging you if you have babies out of wedlock. No, of course not. Of course not. But, like, in my culture and in my religion, people will not respect you or see it in that way. You know what I mean? And that's why Cheery wanted to get married so badly. She just wanted at least an engagement, and Jesse just did not. He doesn't want to get married. Come on, let's call it what it is. He doesn't want to get married. And I want that explored more in season 2. I'd like to figure out why he doesn't want to get married. I don't think he wants to get married. And I don't really understand why, because they're already like halfway there. They have kids. They're living together. They're committed to one another. Why not just make it official? And there's been the awkward moments where she thought he was going to propose and he ended up just giving her a bag or a watch. Oh, so awkward, so embarrassing. I was embarrassed for her. But when she finally decided to propose to him, so awkward. That man stood there and said every word in the dictionary except yes. Let me get my brush. I love you, and I love our babies, and I love our life, and say yes. Just say yes. It's one word. It was so awkward. I was cringing. Ooh, I don't think he wants to get married, and I think Cheery is so sweet. I think her voice is so soothing. She has the cutest voice, the nicest, like, kindest spirit. I think she's such a kind person. She's going through a lot with her mother's death. All she wants is a proposal. I just think you either propose or you just be honest with her and say, yeah, nah, I don't think marriage is for me. If you don't want to get married, which is completely fine, by the way. A lot of people don't want to get married, and that's perfectly fine. Just be honest with your partner. Your partner who clearly, obviously wants to get married. But maybe I'm just speculating. Maybe he's a perfectionist and he was just waiting for the right moment to propose. Next person, Kim. Okay. I was so invested in her story of, like, trying to find her father, and Kevin was helping her, and the sexual tension between her and Kevin. Saw it from the moment she threw the drink in his face. I was like, woo! I have to say, she's a DJ. And she makes $50K per performance to just press a button and wave her arms. I'm in the wrong field. And I know there's more that goes into DJing, right? You have to, like, make beats and stuff. But, like, I just don't think Kim is doing all that. Let's talk about the pee-pee pump incident. Very rude. Very, very, very rude. If I was Anna, I would never, ever invite her back into my home ever again. That was so unbelievably disrespectful. Kim didn't even apologize. She kept getting defensive and being like, but what? You were being rude. You went into her bathroom where you were not welcomed, and you threw something very, very private out the window. It was extremely disrespectful. Just own up to it, apologize, and move on with your life. But she refused to. And it was so disrespectful. And it left Anna having to be the bigger person when she found out about Kim's dad. It's like, it was very sweet of Anna to go up to her and be like, you know what, with the pee-pee incident, just put it, behind us. And that's when Kim finally decided to apologize. Disrespectful. So disrespectful. And the fact that she was running away from her, ugh, Kim, why are you such a child? But I have to say, her talking to Kevin's mom, then Kevin and Kim, that entire episode where they went to where, North Carolina or something? I don't know. I'm not from the States. I don't know. But they went to the South, and they were looking for her dad, and they found Michael, and then they went to the nail salon, and then Tony's wife called and told him that he died. Ooh, it was so good. I felt like I was watching an episode of Catfish. I love that entire episode. I thought it was so good. I was so invested. At first, I was like, Kevin and Kane should mind their own business. Like, why are they trying to find her father for her? I thought that was a little annoying, but to be fair, she wouldn't have done it. I don't think she would have gone and looked for him herself. I think she would have been a little too scared. So I guess that it was nice that they did it for her. Is that all I have to say about Kim? Yeah, for season 2, I want to see her relationship with Kevin develop a little bit more. Now let's talk about, in my opinion, the person who like carried this entire season, Kevin, the beautiful, the handsome supermodel Kevin. I was invested the entire time of him trying to find his birth parents, him inviting his mom and asking for permission. The entire time I was so invested. I wanted him to find his birth parents so bad. Him relating to Kim because she's going through something similar. And then the scene that did it for me was when he went to the hypnotherapist. And I don't know if I believe in anything that she did in that scene. She basically made him channel memories that he won't be able to access. So I don't know if I believe in anything that she did in that scene, but I hate my lips. I hate my lips. When he started crying, I cried with him. It was so powerful when he was like, she didn't want me. Oh my God. I was like, damn, I have no idea if anything she did in that scene was actually real. But I was so invested. It kept me interested the entire time. I was like, is he gonna go to Korea? Are we gonna get to see his birth parents? What are we gonna find out about his mom, his dad, his grandparents? I was so invested. Like, he was somewhat relatable in the fact that, like, he spends $1,000 on rent. He lives with roommates. He doesn't own any Gucci or Dior. He doesn't know anything like that. He doesn't even know how to spell Hermes. Like, he's very relatable like that. I like that he was an extra like them, but he also didn't judge them. I would judge the hell out of them. Like, do they know how to do laundry? Do they know how to live like normal people? I would judge the crap out of them, but he didn't. He was a good friend to everyone, very loyal to Anna especially. I liked him. I think he carried the show. I have to say, he was a snake when he was sitting with Andrew, giving him dating advice while he was moving in on his girl. Very disrespectful. But it kept me entertained. I was like, I prefer Kevin over Andrew. For season 2 from Kevin, I want him to go to Korea. I don't know if they filmed season 2 during quarantine. I don't even know if it's coming. I don't know if they can, you know, because COVID and stuff. But I want to see him go to Korea and trying to find out as much as possible about his birth parents. I liked his mom. I thought she was hilarious. I want to see more of her. I'm just invested. I really, really want to know more about his birth parents. So for season 2, no more Andrew. I'm absolutely done with Andrew. I don't want to see him. I want to see more of Kane. I want Kevin to go to Korea. I want to see Kim and Kevin's relationship develop. I want a beautiful, incredible wedding. And I want to know if Christine will have another child. Oh, and I want Kelly to maybe find someone else. Oh, I want to know how Guy Tang got his money. And do I like Jamie? I want Jamie and Anna to have a plot, a story, something. But yeah. Eid Mubarak to everyone. I'm done. Yay, I filmed. I feel like this was a good video. Good job, Hannah. Au revoir. I can't see, so I can't turn off the camera. Oh.